What's going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and my people, today we are going to do a little bit of speculation and connecting of the dots of some little breadcrumbs that, in my opinion, Capital Games may be leaving us. When you look at what is going on with the game right now, it looks like they're setting up a potential Empire rework and maybe some additional Rebel reworks. And so I'm going to talk you through what I'm seeing here and why I think this might happen and what could potentially come with such a rework. And then also talk about a potential Rebel synergy between Cara Dune and Bodhi. Yes, you heard me right, Bodhi. And I'm being serious about that. I actually do legitimately think there could be a synergy. A couple things would need to happen, though, for it probably to be viable. But anyway, we're going to break this down. So, yesterday, when we had this announcement with Cara Dune coming to the game, I was a little bit more intrigued, frankly, by Greef Karga's kit. Greef Karga's kit looked very, very good. And I think he's going to be immediately viable as a bounty hunter leader. I think it's just going to be a matter of deciding who you're going to sub out of a bounty hunter team. Maybe Boba Fett. I don't think Dengar is replaceable. I feel like Boba is if you have Jango in there. And I don't think you want to take Jango out. And you're definitely going to leave Bosk in there, right? And so you're going to have a lot of those same benefits with that health and protection regeneration that you get from that Bosk lead with Greef Karga with a slew of other benefits. That was pretty obvious to me, but I was a little more confused by what's going on with Cara Dune's kit. Now, I think that her kit makes a lot of sense from a lore perspective, and I appreciate lore kits. I really like kits that are true to the lore, but I don't feel like CG is commonly bringing in new characters to the game, just giving them lore nods without having them have any meaningful impact in the game. And so what I'm talking about here primarily is this strong anti-Empire synergy. And I want to ask you guys right now, when was the last time in Grand Arena you faced an Empire team? It has been a very long time for me. It's been a very long time since I placed my Empire team on defense, and I am using them primarily for offense, almost exclusively for offense in Grand Arena. Now, maybe some of you are seeing Empire teams here or there, but they're very clearly not a focus in Grand Arena defensive teams. And so why would they bring us a new character with anti-Empire synergy? In particular, you see this ability right here, special number 1, where Cara does gain potency up, which helps with her revive mechanic, and then she deals damage to all enemies and removes 50% of their turn meter. That's a great ability as is, but they tack on this line, Empire allies are stunned, or enemies are stunned for 1 turn. That's now, right now, with the way that the game works right now, you will never take advantage of that. So why bother putting it in? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you about the State of the Galaxy post that we got on April 15th, last week. We got this post, and this was basically a, look, Mandalorian's coming to the game, here's some screenshots from the game, here's the art team not screwing up Cara Dune, and the Mando's coming, but then they tacked on this little line right here. We've shifted the Road Ahead schedule to accommodate for the lead up to Galactic Legends. Next month's update will be a Road Ahead, covering our bigger plans for the upcoming quarter and the next title update. We also have plans to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back next month, so it could be an action-packed quarter. And so, we have Empire Strikes Back characters in the game right now. Let's go ahead and look at these. I'll pull up my game right now. You look in here, let's look at our Empire faction. Could we be getting some Empire characters as part of that would give us a new Grand Arena defensive team potentially and create a need or a pull for us to take advantage of Cara Dune from that perspective? General Veers is one. I think Troopers could definitely fit in that category. Imperial Probe Droid could fit in that category. Maybe it's time to give Imperial Probe Droid more damage on his self-destruct. Probe Droid is actually a really OP character if everyone was under 100,000 health. But now so many characters surpass that this is just an outdated character. Could there be new characters coming? Could we see reworks for Palpatine? Could we see reworks for Vader? Again, could we see reworks for other obscure... I think what I would really like to see is What if we rework characters like Royal Guard, a character who hasn't seen hardly any use in this game since the very early days of the game, and he's the guard to the Emperor himself. Colonel Stark, a territory battles character that no longer has use. Anyway, based on the setup that I'm seeing from Capital Games here in this post, I feel confident that Cara Dune will likely... this would be, if I was given money to bet on this, all right? I probably wouldn't bet much on CG. But if I had to bet, I have $50. Okay, we'll make it higher. $200 stakes. Somebody gives me $200, and I have to put it on either CG giving us an Empire rework or not giving us an Empire rework. I'm going to guess that they are. I don't think it's enough to take to the bank, ladies and gentlemen, but this looks like, based on reading the stars here, we're getting an Empire rework. Potentially some Rebel reworks too to go along with Cara Dune. And speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, Cara Dune right now, who is she going to synergize with? And if you look at this Rebel team here, let's pull up the game again. Let's look at all the Rebels. We have plenty of Rebels here. And if we're going to do Empire reworks, I talked about this with, or Rebel reworks, I talked about this with Urza already. Rolo would make a lot of sense because we're doing Empire Strikes Back, Captain Han Solo. I don't know if it makes sense for Cara Dune to work with those guys, although maybe she did work with them. She was an ex-Rebel, right? So those are some characters that make sense to rework. But wouldn't you know that Bodhi has some pretty solid synergy here with our girl Cara. Remember, if you look at her kit here, Cara Dune with potency up will revive. Cara Dune, let's see, is this the one? Yep, if Cara Dune has potency up, make sure that's showing on the screen. When she is defeated, she is revived with 50% of her max health and gains potency up for 1 turn. I don't believe that has a condition that it can only happen once. I believe the more she gets potency up, the more she can do that. And so putting her in a solid Rebel team with Bodhi could legitimately be great because Bodhi is one of the only characters I know of in this game who could apply potency up, and he's a Rebel. Spotter is the ability. Let's max it out here. I don't have it maxed out. Inflict target enemy with evasion down for 2 turns, which can't be evaded. Target other ally grants offense up and potency up for 2 turns and is called to assist. And keep in mind that Cara Dune, going back to her kit here on her basic, which she will assist on, she deals physical damage to target enemy. If there's a scoundrel ally in the leader slot, Cara Dune gains stealth till the end of her next turn. If she's a Rebel, if the leader's a Rebel, Cara Dune loses stealth and gains taunt for 2 turns. And so you got like almost a built-in loop here. The cooldown on this ability, by the way, is 4 for Bodhi over here. But say Cara Dune dies, Bodhi takes a turn. He gives the potency up to Cara Dune. She's going to be called to assist, which means she's going to also taunt, which is going to kind of force her to die, but then also gain that potency up again and stealth, because remember, she stealths when she comes back. 50% max health and gains she's revived. Oh, no. She doesn't gain stealth. She gets potency up when she's defeated. And 50% of her max health and potency for 1 turn. So, ladies and gentlemen, we may officially have potential use for Bodhi Rook in this game. Now, if there are no Rebel counters coming into, or reworks coming to the game, maybe there's new characters. I think more than likely there's no other real Rebel characters that would make sense to bring in with the Mandalorian, so I don't necessarily see that happening. However, I could see if we take CLS, Han, Chewie, already very solid characters, and the last 2 characters that you have there are very interchangeable, right? A lot of people use Old Ben with R2. You could put C-3PO in there. You could put, there's a lot of differences, a lot of different things you can do there. What if Cara Dune is now the tank and Bodhi is now the support? I just want you guys to imagine for a second Bodhi in a CLS team and people taking it seriously. I would love to see it. So, CG, I dare you to do this. I'd cap it off with a Bodhi rework. I think that'd be pretty cool to see too. But you know what? Bodhi's not a very good character in terms of damage, right? But his support mechanics are actually really good. Look at double duty here. While Bodhi is active, rebel allies with offense up also gain plus 50 defense. At the end of his turns, Bodhi grants offense up for 2 turns to a random ally who doesn't have it. So you're going to get defense and offense up at the same time. And then this ability right here, this is a special. Intercept communications, remove 10% turn meter from all enemies, doubled on Empire enemies. There's, again, some anti-Empire synergy. So Cara Dune's going to be able to remove 50% turn meter. If it is Empire, you're going to be able to remove 20% turn meter, which can't be evaded, and give 10% turn meter to all allies. Unless they're rebels, they get 20%. And so you got a 40% turn meter swing there, plus 50% from Cara Dune. And I believe Cara Dune, she gains, I think it's 100%. Let's see. I think it's 100% crit chance up. Hold up. Let's go back and look at her kit. I was about to end the video, and then I remembered for Empire. Where is it? She stuns the Empire. I thought there was something else for Empire. Yeah, right here. Yeah, okay. Cara Dune grants critical hit immunity for 2 turns and 100% turn meter whenever an Empire enemy is defeated, too. So you got the 100% turn meter. So lots of turn meter swing between Cara Dune and Bodhi Rook. And let's see here. We already read Spotter. His basic ability is not bad either, really. It's going to invasion down for 2 turns. So you know, maybe it's a stretch. Maybe it's a stretch, but there's legit synergy there. Now, why Cara Dune has more synergy with Bodhi Rook than she does with Grief Karga, I don't know. But we'll have to see what she does with Mandalorian. Maybe Mandalorian will be the clear-cut person to run her with. We will have to wait and see. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, leave a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. What synergies do you guys think are coming with Mandalorian characters? I'm anxious to hear from you guys, again, down in the comments below. All right, everyone, thanks again for joining me for the video, and as always, my brothers, don't forget,